Alright, so I finally got my Nokia N8 a couple of days ago. You can see I still haven't taken off the protective screen on the camera here. Um, the anodized aluminum case is phenomenal. It's definitely the best mechanically built phone I think I've ever used, both in terms of look and feel. I think the quality is just top notch. But today I'm going to focus more on the OS and the apps. So let's get started. So you unlock it, you come into, this is basically the new Symbian 3 look. I think it's a big improvement over prior Symbian systems. However, the first thing I did when I got this phone was I installed this shell called SPB Mobile Shell. And what it does is it's basically an overlay on top of Symbian 3. It's very light and very efficient. So I get there by pushing this button down here, which I just pushed. And this is how it looks. This is called SPB. Like I said, it's light and efficient. I haven't noticed any noticeable impact on battery life. And this is how I think Symbian 3 or the Nokia N8 should have been shipped as stock, basically. It's night and day. It's so smooth. It's got like the fluid characteristics of iOS 4, Apple iOS and Symbian. You can go to. It's got 3 default home screens. You can add shortcuts and widgets. I just held down on there for a sec. I went plus. I can add anything from here. I can go to my shortcuts, programs. I can. It's very flexible. So, and it gives you access to all the apps and programs that you would have had in Symbian 3. Because remember, this is just a shell. It's not changing the underlying behavior of the phone. It's just making it much easier to access. So, cool thing on SPB is you can go to carousel view, and you can flip through your screens like this. You can go fast, slow, and then you can do some fun stuff like just kind of toss it around. Kind of eye candy, but it is useful sometimes because it does help you get to certain screens faster if you'd like. But like I said, stock SPB is without the carousel. You basically have 3 default screens, or 5. I put it to 3 because it's satisfying what I need so far. I basically have, this is my center screen. To the left, I have 1 screen of utilities, and the utilities are, just weather, search, for example, file manager can go in there. My wireless connection manager, phone, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, flight mode. Again, these are all things you would have had in Symbian 3. It's just this makes what I feel is easier to get to, organize, and things just look cleaner in my opinion. Fonts look better, icons look better. It just looks more, I would just say, up to date and competitive with some of the other operating systems. So some of the critical apps, or for me at least, I would say, is JoyQ hotspot. I use this all the time. It lets you set your phone up as a 3G hotspot, and anyone with Wi-Fi could hop on here. I have it password protected. I won't get into this right now, the details of it, but that's available for download on OV. Just to show you, for example, if I go into music and flip it over here, just to emphasize that the apps are exactly what you would see in Symbian 3. So once you actually dive into an app, it's what you would see, what you'd expect to see in Symbian 3. Exit that. And at any time in SPB, you can hold down this little button down here at the bottom. I just held that down, and it brings you into everything you've opened. So for example, I happen to have OV open right now. I can click on it. It takes me there. Put that back in the background. I can go, well, I gotta say, first of all, multitasking on Symbian 3, and it's the same multitasking in SPB, obviously. Multitasking in this Nokia N8 is the best I've ever seen on any phone. I came from a Nokia E72, which had a lot of this similar applications, but and the same multitasking capabilities, but this is probably the best multitasking I've seen on a touchscreen to date. So Other important apps I would recommend are, well, first I would go to OV and download Swype. You can just search for it and find it, and what you can do is cool, basically. So I'll show you what. So you go to messaging, and this is text messaging. If I just want to write a new message, just go here, I go to landscape mode to give me QWERTY, and I can say this, this is a test. So pretty smooth. I'm still getting used to Swype, honestly, but I think there's a lot of potential here. Let me just let me close this, delete. Yeah. So, oh, and one more thing, SPB works in both landscape and QWERTY, or vertical mode, portrait mode. Another thing I would recommend you do right off the bat is download Gmail. You can just Google mobile Gmail, and you can find this client. Click on it, very smooth. Go menu, compose. Just want to show you how things are integrated here. So once you've downloaded Swype, it shows up everywhere. So I can either say, I can just ignore Swype and just use it as I would normally. This is a test. Oops. Right? Or, let me delete all this. I just want to show you that Swype is now also in here. So I could just go like this. This is a test. So very cool. Cancel, discard. So I highly recommend installing the Gmail, the native client that you can download from Google. And then OV Maps obviously comes with the phone. Just going to open it real quick. And I love OV Maps because I travel a lot internationally, and I like having my maps preloaded, which OV Maps lets me do. And if I go to, I also installed Google Maps because I honestly think that the search engine on Google Maps is vastly superior to OV. So I use this a lot of times. What annoys me about Google is that you have to stream all the map data. So when I'm traveling, I don't really use this that much. But it's just I have the choice here, so I can use either one. And the other cool thing is I've synced everything up. And in other words, I have my calendar, my contacts are all synced up to my Gmail calendar and contacts. And that was one of my criteria for buying a phone, was that I wanted everything to be synced up to my Gmail, basically. And Nokia lets you do this through MFE. It's very, very smooth. Basically, you're always synced up to the cloud. Anything I enter here, my calendars and my contacts, and shows up when I log in on my computer as well, obviously. But and if you guys want, I can do a separate video later talking about that and how to set that up. There's Quick Office that comes with the phone, but I just put it on here because it's kind of important to me. You can open documents, edit documents, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Yeah, so that pretty much wraps it up. I gotta say, I've only been using this for a few days now, and the battery life has been very, very impressive. I was worried coming from like a Nokia E72, which has like a traditional, 2.5-inch screen and a mechanical keyboard. I was worried that this not massive, but this 3.5-inch screen would gobble too much energy. But I think the fact that it's using AMOLED, and I think Nokia has very advanced power management circuits or ICs, I think that they've compensated somehow. So basically I can go a full day with heavy use and not have to charge. I'm talking like browsing over 3G, over Wi-Fi. And I've also installed a couple games here. I forgot to mention that. There's Need for Speed, that's free. I've never been a big mobile gaming guy, but that's actually a pretty fun racing game. And yeah, and like I said, the OV store is I think vastly improved compared to before. You can go into categories. You can, it's very smooth. So Let me see what comes up here. Yeah. So all in all, I love the phone. I love the feel. I love the battery life. Obviously, I haven't started playing with the camera yet. That was one of the main reasons I bought it, but I haven't had time. But what I really wanted to emphasize today was that if you install the shell, you basically get the best of all worlds. I think you get the fluid kind of eye candy of Android and Apple iOS, but at the same time, you get the flexibility of the Symbian operating system. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, post a comment and I'll try to answer them. Thanks.